Hello, my name's Johnny.
Hello?
I'm going to be your nurse today. Can I see your wristband?
Yeah.
Can you tell me your name and date of birth, please?
Daniel Cruz, December 12, 1994.
Good, and I'm going to ask you a couple questions just to assess your level of consciousness. So, do you know what the day is today?
Today is Thursday.
Okay, and do you know where we are?
College Place, Washington.
And do you know who the president is?
Donald Trump.
Good. Okay, so I'm going to be performing a head-to-toe assessment. And before we get started, do you need to go to the bathroom?
No, I do not.
No? Okay, good. So I'm going to start by inspecting your head and face. I'm just going to inspect the general shape and make sure it's symmetrical, making sure all the body parts on your face, the ears, eyes, nose, they're all pretty symmetrical. And it looks like they are. So I'm going to go ahead and palpate your scalp. I'm going to look for even hair distribution, feel for any masses, and make sure that your scalp moves freely,
Okay.
which it does. All right, go ahead and come back to normal. And I'm going to feel your masseter. So can you go ahead and open and close your mouth for me? Good. All right, now I'm going to feel your frontal and maxillary sinuses. And just let me know if you feel any tenderness as I palpate these areas. Any tenderness in there?
I didn't know. No.
Awesome. Now I'm going to perform a facial sensation test. And this is going to test your trigeminal nerve. So with this stick here, for example, this is going to be dull, and this is going to be sharp.
Okay.
I'm going to have you close your eyes, and I'm just going to touch you in several spots, and you'll just let me know
Okay.
which one it is.
Sharp. Dull. Sharp. 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 Dull.
Good. All right, now I'm going to assess your facial nerve, and I'm going to do this by asking you to raise your eyebrows and close your eyes tight and puff up your cheeks. Good. Pretty normal facial control of the muscles. So now I'm going to go ahead and inspect the eyes, just the external structures, the eyelids, the eyebrows, looking at the lacrimal glands and the sclera, making sure that there's no abnormal redness and making sure that there's no unusual discharge.
Okay.
Everything seems pretty normal. So now I'm going to go ahead and test your pupillary direct and consensual light reflex. So I'm just going to have you look forward, and I'm just going to shine the light into your pupils. I'm going to look at each one. So I'm going to check that the pupils are equal, round, reactive to light, and accommodating.
Mm-hmm.
So for accommodating, I'm just going to have you look at the tip of this pen light as I come closer, go further away. Good, and those two tests are going to test your ocular motor nerve. Now I'm going to do the corneal light reflex. So I'm just going to shine the light directly in the middle and making sure the light reflects at the same spot on both eyes, which it does. Now I'm going to go ahead and check your corneal reflex with the cotton wisp. So I'm going to take a piece of cotton here, and I'm going to touch the outside of your sclera. Open wide for me. Good. And the other side. Good. The reflex should be that you close your eyes or blink. And if I haven't already said it, that's going to test your trigeminal and your facial nerve. Now I'm going to test your extraocular eye movements, and this is going to test the trochlear and the abducens nerve. So I'm just going to have you follow the tip of the pen light in a couple general directions. Side, side, up, down, diagonal, and diagonal. Good. Now I'm going to assess your peripheral vision, and this is going to be testing the optic nerve. So I'll have you cover your left eye, and I'm going to bring my fingers out here, and I'll have you tell me when you see the fingers come into play.
I see it. I see it. No.
And the other side?
No. No. No.
Good. Now I'm going to test your red light reflex. If you can scoot over a little bit for me. This is also going to test your optic nerve. I'm just going to shine the light and look for a red light shining back. Good. Good. And now I'm going to perform a fundus exam. I'm going to be looking for the optic disc, the blood vessels, the macular area, and the color of the retina. Good. Good. All right. Everything seems to be pretty good. And now I'm going to move on to the ears. So I'm just going to inspect the outside structures, the auricles, making note of the characteristics of the skin, and making sure that there's no unusual discharge from the tympanic or from the ear canal. Now I'm just going to go ahead and palpate around the auricles and on the mastoid area. Just let me know if there's any tenderness there. All right. Now I'm going to check your tympanic membrane. Go ahead and turn to your right for me. All right, and to your left. All right. So what I was looking for there was your tympanic membrane, making sure that I saw its pearly gray color, making sure that it wasn't ruptured or anything like that, any damage was caused to it. Now I'm going to perform 3 hearing tests on you, and they're all going to test the vestibulocochlear nerve. So I'm going to go behind you, and I'm going to have you occlude one ear and wiggle your finger around.
Okay.
I'm going to whisper a couple words, and I'll just have you repeat the words. Blanket. Blanket. Good. Now the other ear. Tag. Tag. Good. Now the next test is called the Weber test, and this is going to be with the tuning fork. I'm going to bang the tuning fork, place it on your head, and you're just going to tell me if you hear it evenly in both ears or more in one ear than the other.
Hear more on the right side.
Okay, so you have a right side lateralization. Now I'm just going to perform the rhyme test. I'm going to strike the fork and I'm going to place it behind your ear. And you're going to tell me when you stop hearing it.
Okay.
When you stop hearing it, I'll place it in front of your ear. And then again, you'll let me know when you stop hearing it.
Stop. Now.
Good. And the other side.
Now. Now.
Good. Now I'm going to inspect your nose. Going to move on to your nose. And I'm going to have you just tilt your head back for me a little bit. I'm going to observe your septum, make sure it's intact and midline. Now I'm going to have you, I'm going to test for nasal patency. So I'm going to have you cover one nostril and breathe in and out. And cover the other one and breathe in and out. Good. Now I'm going to have you close your eyes and cover one nostril. And I'm going to have you tell me what this smells like.
Smells sweet.
Good. And the other side, close your eyes for me.
Sweet.
Good. All right, that's going to test your olfactory nerve. Now I'm going to examine the inside of your nostrils. So if you can go ahead and tilt your head back for me. This might tickle a little bit. Good, and the other side. Good. So I was just looking at the mucosa membrane, making sure that there are no lesions, any kind of trauma caused to it, making sure that there's no unusual discharge, and everything seems to be pretty normal. So now I'm going to move on to your mouth.
Okay.
Just going to grab some gloves first. I'm just going to inspect the outside real quick. Looking at the lips, looking for symmetry. And I'm going to grab my pen light here. And I'm going to have you open your mouth for me so I can examine the teeth, the gums, the tonsils. Good. Now I'm going to have you, I'm going to grab this tongue blade. I'm going to have you open your mouth for me and stick out your tongue and say, ah.
Ah.
Good. That's going to test the glossopharyngeal and vagus nerve. Now I'm going to have to test your gag reflex. So if you can open your mouth for me again. I'm going to reach back into your tongue. There it is. Good. Alright, so that will also test your glossopharyngeal and vagus nerve. Now I'm going to ask you to take a sip of water and then swallow for me. And then I'll have you cough. Is there any discomfort in the coughing or swallowing? Good, and that's also testing your glossopharyngeal and vagus nerve. Now I'm going to do a taste test, and that's going to test your facial, glossopharyngeal, and vagus nerve.
Okay.
So I'm going to grab one of these swabs, and I'm going to have you close your eyes, stick your tongue out, and I'm going to have you identify the taste. So go ahead and stick your tongue out. What does that taste like?
Salty.
All right, one more time.
Sweet.
Good. Now I'll just have you stick your tongue out for me and move it up and down and side to side. Good, and that's going to test your hypoglossal nerve.
Okay.
Now I'm going to move into the neck. I'm going to bring your gown down just a little bit. I'm going to inspect and look for any jugular vein distension, look for where the thyroid gland should be, make sure it's not enlarged, and which it's not. So I'm going to go ahead right in and palpate the carotid arteries one at a time, making sure they're nice and pulsating, which they are. So now I'm going to go ahead and feel for your trachea, make sure that it is midline, which it is. I'm going to feel for your thyroid gland. And I shouldn't normally feel it, only if it was tender or swollen or anything like that. Then it'd be cause for concern. So now I'm going to go ahead and feel for your lymph nodes. And I'm going to go ahead and start with the preauricular, postauricular, occipital, the tonsillar, submental, submandibular, superficial cervical, deep cervical, posterior cervical, and supraclavicular. Good, everything seems to be pretty normal. I shouldn't normally be able to feel them unless they were tender or swollen.
Okay.
Now I'm going to listen to your carotid arteries again with the bell of my stethoscope, and I'll have you hold your breath as I do this. Let's go ahead and inhale. And breathe. And inhale and hold for me. Good. So I'd be listening for any bruise. These would be like high-pitched sounds, but since I didn't hear them, then there's no cause for concern. Now I'm going to test your skin turgor at the clavicle, so I'm just going to lift a little piece of skin here, making sure that the skin rebounds nice and fast. Otherwise, if it doesn't rebound quickly, then that would be a sign for dehydration.
Okay.
Now I'm going to assess your neck range of motion, so I'll just have you tilt your head back and come forward and tilt your head to the side, other side. And I'll just have you turn and turn the other way. Good. Now I'm going to have you do the same thing but against resistance. So turn to the side and to the other side and tilt your head to the side And to the other side. Tilt your head forward. Good. Tilt your head back. Good. All right. I'm just going to assess the temperature of your skin, making sure you're not running a fever or anything. Good. It seems pretty normal. Now I'm going to go ahead and assess your upper extremities. So I'm going to just inspect your arms. I'm looking at muscle tone, looking at the hair distribution, making sure it's pretty equal, which it looks like it is. So I'm going to go ahead and go right into the shoulder range of motion. So I'm going to have you flex your arms up and reach behind you and reach sideways, and up, come down, and reach behind your back. Good. And behind your head. Good. Now I'll have you do the same thing, but I'm going to apply some resistance. So I'm going to have you lift your arms up as I apply some resistance. Good. And reach back and tie for extension as I apply resistance. Good. Now sideways. Good. Now I'm going to have you shrug your shoulders against resistance. Good. And that's going to test the accessory nerve. Now I'm going to test your elbow range of motion. So I'm going to have you arms out, and I'm going to have you reach behind your shoulder and come back out. I'm going to have you rotate your arms, pronate and supinate. I'm going to have you reach for your shoulder again, but this time I'm going to apply some resistance. Good. Now I'm going to have you test the wrist range of motion. So palms out again. I'm going to have you bring your hands up and back and in and out. Good. Now I'm going to have you with the fingers, I'm going to have you make a fist. And now fan out your fingers and bring them back. And I'm going to have you touch your thumb to your each finger. Good. Now I'm going to assess the capillary refill, making sure that is less than 3 seconds. Can I see your other hand? Good. And I'm also going to feel for your finger joints, making sure there's no tenderness in your hand or your fingers. Any tenderness in this hand?
No.
Other hand? Any tenderness in this hand?
No.
Good. Now I'm going to test your coordination. So with your hands on your lap flat, I'm going to have you flip them over and back as fast as you can. Good. Now I'm going to have you do your thumb to fingers again, the palmar adduction as fast as you can. Good. Now I'm going to test your reflexes of the biceps and the brachioradialis. So starting with the bicep. Good. Brachioradialis. Good. And the other side. Go ahead and rest your elbow. Good. And the brachioradialis. Good. Now I'm going to test or feel for the pulses on each arm, starting with the radial on this side. Good. And the brachial. Good. Now I'm going to do a stereognosis test. So I'm going to have you close your eyes and hold your hands out. And I'm going to place an object in your hand, and I'm going to have you identify which one it is.
Okay.
So have you close your eyes for me?
Chapstick.
Good. And the other hand? Other hand, please.
Oh, sorry.
There we go.
Feels like a key.
Good. Now the graphesthesia test. I'm going to have you hold out your arms. I'm going to draw a letter in your hand, and you're going to tell me what letter that is. Go ahead and close your eyes.
N.
Good.
O.
Good. Alright, now I'm going to do a 2-point discrimination test. I'm going to touch the paperclip to your arms, and I'm going to have you tell me when it feels like, if it feels like 2 or 1 point.
Okay.
Alright, so starting with this arm, go ahead and close your eyes.
2, 1,
Good. And on the hand.
2, 1,
Good. Other arm.
2, 1,
Good. Hand.
2. There's 1.
Okay. Good. Now I'm going to do a sharp and dull sensation on your arms. Go ahead and close your eyes again.
Sharp, dull, dull, sharp, sharp, dull, dull, dull.
Good. Alright, now I'm going to bring down your gown and assess your cardiopulmonary system. So I'm just going to inspect your chest, making sure everything's symmetrical, making sure your side diameter is the same as the transverse diameter, which it is. And I'm going to look for or inspect the precordium as well too. So I'm going to be looking at the point of maximal impulse, seeing if I can observe that. Can't see the impulse, but that's okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and palpate the chest. So I'm just going to go down and feel for any masses, any abnormalities. Looking for any tenderness. Was there any tenderness as I was palpating?
No.
Alright, now I'm going to go down and palpate the precordium. So this side first, this side, below. So I'm going to be looking for any lifts, heaves, and thrills for the precordium. Now I'm going to go ahead and test for tactile firmness. So I'm going to feel down your chest again. As I do this, I want you to repeat 99.
99, 99, 99, 99.
Good. Now I'm going to look or test your chest expansion. So I'm going to put my thumbs down here. I'm going to have you take a deep breath in and back in. Good. Everything moves pretty even. Now I'm going to percuss down the lung fields on each side. Good. Everything's sounded pretty normal. Now I'm going to auscultate your lung fields. I'll just have you take normal breaths. Okay, now I'm going to listen to your heart sounds in a couple different areas, starting with the aortic valve, to the pulmonic, to Erb's point, to the tricuspid valve, and to the mitral valve. Good. Everything sounds pretty normal. Now I'm going to go into your backside. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to inspect. Everything looks pretty even. There's a couple birthmarks, but no lesions, no wounds, or anything like that. I'm just going to go ahead and palpate as I did on the front, going down, looking for any tenderness or masses. I'm just going to palpate for tactile firmness. So I'll have you repeat 99 again as I place my hands on you.
99, 99, 99, 99.
Good. Now I'm going to check your chest expansion again, so I'll have you take a deep breath in and out. Good. Now I'm going to percuss down your lung fields. All right, now I'm going to percuss your diaphragmatic excursion. So I'm going to have you inhale for me, inhale and hold. Go ahead and breathe. And now I'll have you take a deep breath in, and then exhale all the way and hold. And breathe. And I'm going to measure that in centimeters, about 5.5. I'm going to have you do the same thing. Go ahead and inhale and hold for me. I'm going to check the other side. All right. And exhale and hold. All right. Measure that again. It's about 5.5 centimeters. I'm going to take these off you. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to listen to your lung fields. Go ahead and breathe normally. Good. Pretty healthy lung sounds. Okay, now I'm going to have you lie back. I'm going to inspect your abdomen, provide you some coverage here. All right. I'm just going to inspect, making sure everything is pretty symmetrical, equal hair distribution, and the umbilicus is midline. So I'm going to go right into listening for your bowel movements in all 4 quadrants. Good. There was bowel movements in all 4 quadrants. And now I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. I will listen, but this time with the bell of my stethoscope. And I'll listen to the abdominal aorta, the iliac, and the renal arteries, listening for bruits. So abdominal aorta. Good, no bruits. Now I'm going to go ahead and percuss in all 4 quadrants. Good. Now I'm going to go ahead and percuss your liver border. So I'm going to start up here, right below the nipple. I'm going to work my way down to feel a dull sound. All right. Use my ruler. Like that. And I'm going to go from below up to the costal margin until I feel dull. There it is. I'll measure that. About 5 centimeters. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and palpate in the 4 quadrants. I'm going to go ahead and palpate lightly first. In all 4 quadrants, looking for masses and I'll have you report to me if there's any tenderness. And now I'm going to go in a little deeper. Any tenderness at all?
No.
Good. All right, now I'm going to palpate the abdominal aorta, and I shouldn't be able to feel the pulse. All right, good. I'm going to cover your abdomen. I'm going to expose your legs now. Provide you with some coverage here. I'm just going to examine the hair pattern, look at the skin characteristics, and I'm going to feel the temperature of both legs, making sure it's even. I'm going to look at the hips, making sure that they're aligned. Good. Now I'm going to check the capillary refill of his toes, making sure it's less than 3 seconds, which it is. Now I'm going to assess the foot range of motion, so I'll have you wiggle your toes for me. Good, and I'm going to perform the plantar reflex. This is going to tickle a little bit. One more time. Good, and the other side. Good. All right, now with your ankles, I'll have you flex down and up, and move your toes out and in, and bring your heels in and out, in. Good. All right, now with your knee, I'll have you bring your knee up to your chest, flexing, good, and back down, and the other knee. Good, back down, and then I'll have you with your whole leg lifted up without bending your knee. Good, and back down, and other leg up and back down. Good. Now I'll have you swing your your leg out for me, and back, and the other leg, and back. Good. Now I'm going to have you, with this heel, bring it up to the shin and run it down your shin. This is a coordination test. Good. And the other leg. Good. All right, now I'm going to have you sit up for me. And I'm going to check your pulses. I'm going to check your popliteal, your posterior tibial, and your dorsalis pedis. Good, they're all pretty equal in bounding. Now I'm going to test your reflexes, starting with the patellar. Good, and the other side. Good. Now the Achilles. Good, and the other side. Good. All right. Now I'm going to have you stand up for me. And I'm just going to assess your body alignment. I'll go ahead and bend over for me. I'm going to assess your spine, making sure that it's midline and not deviated. Good. Now I'm going to have you come on over here. I'm going to turn this. And I'll have you walk straight that way towards the sink. And I'll have you come back, but walking heel to toe. Good. Now stop there, and I'll have you hop on one foot for me. And hop on the other foot. Good. Now I'll have you bring your feet together. And I'll have you close your eyes, and this is going to be the Romberg test, testing the vestibulocochlear nerve. Good. All right, you can come back and take a seat. Go ahead and sit down. And I'm going to, oops. All right, I think this is the end of our assessment. So thank you for your time.